My pro wrestling fans, I'm gonna give y'all my top 5 favorite pro wrestling factions of all time in no specific order because that was just way too hard for me to do. Coming up first on this list, we got the Rascals. Desmond Xavier, Zachary Wentz, Trey Miguel, and Myron Reed. Anytime you see these dudes in the ring, whether it's solo, tag, trio, or a quad, you're gonna be entertained. The high-flying, fast-paced action, the chemistry that they have between each other, it's hard not to love them. They look like a group of best friends who just genuinely have a love for pro wrestling and a love to see each other win. Can't beat that. Coming up next on this list, we got the House of Black. Buddy Matthews, Julia Hart, Brody King, and Aleister Black. I feel like this faction went together so perfectly. Their styles, the aura that they had, that dark presence that they brought, and then when they get in the ring, you knew somebody was about to get beat down. I love the promos that they would do, the little vignettes backstage. Top tier. That the presence that they brought, you couldn't help but love it. Then their chemistry in the ring, the way that they all were strikers with an aggressive style of wrestling, they just complemented each other very well. I hated to see the factions split up, but hopefully we get more House of Black somewhere in the future. And up next on this list, we got the Hurt Syndicate. Now, they were cool as the Hurt Business, but I do feel like they're being used better in AEW as the Hurt Syndicate. They feel a lot more dominant. The chemistry between Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin is just there. They look so fucking dominant in the ring. The way that those two go together blows my mind that they were not used properly in WWE, in my opinion at least. So yeah, them two as the Hurt Syndicate with MVP in the mix as the manager, honestly, it can't really be beat. Now, I prefer Bobby and Shelton as the tag team with MVP as the manager, but if they could get a third up in there, I feel like that might make things even better depending on who that third man is. With MJF, it didn't really work to me. It felt like they were starting to go a more comedic route, which I don't think that's what the Hurt Syndicate needs. But if they're able to find a third man, or I guess fourth man, to fill in that gap, that would be pretty badass too. Coming up next on this list, we have the Undisputed Era. Now, this is just one of the coolest factions of all time. The entrance, the theme song, the poses when they got into the ring, and then when they get into the ring, you would get some of the best matches in that time period. Jesus Christ. Their styles all meshed together between the striking, the technicality. It was just fucking beautiful. They had some of the greatest rivalries with other teams that I had ever seen at the time in NXT. If you thought Undisputed Era wasn't gonna make it to this list, you're kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now, this is just an opinion, and I could be wrong, but since the Undisputed Era, I don't think we've gotten a faction that fucking cool besides the Bloodline, if we being honest. That's just my personal opinion. Correct me if I'm wrong, or state your opinion if you feel otherwise. Judgment Day is not as cool as Undisputed Era. And last on this list, some of y'all might have saw this coming. Some of y'all might have expected a different answer, but I gotta go with D-Generation X. That is one of the first factions that I personally grew up on. That is the definition of fucking cool. They didn't even have to be the best wrestlers in the world, but they all had individual aura that they brought together, and it made them one of the coolest factions of all time. Whether you had Triple H and Shawn Michaels, or Triple H with X-Pac, Billy Gunn, and Road Dogg, any version of D-Generation X was just fucking top tier. Past, present, to future, whether it's the X or the suck it sign, everybody is gonna know about D-Generation X. Probably one of the most influential factions of all fucking time. But that's my top 5 favorite wrestling factions of all time. You let me know your top 5, and let me know how you feel about my list.